Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I kind of wanted to talk about the experience of being on YouTube for as long as I have now. As you guys know, I mean, if you've been here for a while, we're coming up on our 3 year anniversary in March. Um, just about a month away, like 30 days away from 3 years of being on YouTube, and man, I've learned a lot. I've come a long way. I've progressed in my thinking a lot, and this year, like the fourth year, I want to expand a little bit more and potentially like really dial down more on the quality of content, more on the you know not necessarily frequency, but at least start bringing some more. I don't necessarily want to call it like professional just yet, just because of the fact that going. So here's the thing, and this is the way I kind of look at it. Right now, pretty much since the beginning, since now, I have went from pretty much just being like, hey guys, let's talk about video games, hang out, all of that stuff, to getting a lot more serious in terms of like the content that I produce, and the certain types of things that I like to put out. And there's just been this like conflicting theme throughout the whole freaking channel history. It's like sometimes I get in these dark places, not necessarily dark places, but I get caught up in the world. I get caught up too much in the bickering and the nonsense and everything else that goes into the middle of video games these days, especially online. We have like tribalistic wars, we have console wars, we have Nvidia's versus AMD. We have so much stuff in the short history of this channel that it's like, my gosh, man, like what is the identity of this channel? And that's something that I want to try to really figure out during the fourth year of Frogboy X1 Gaming. I know, like, I mean, my thing in my description of this channel is still the same. You give me a platform that I can use for good. And when we do console wars and we do, bickering back and forth and this and that, and that kind of takes away from that mission statement that Frogboy X1 Gaming is all about. Like, I get it, man. Like the the underlying platform of YouTube is really geared towards getting that negative content out, because that's what gets views. That's what gets, passed around, and that starts to build a platform where the people that want that content are consistently looking for that. And if I do want to rise above that and get to a place where I can look at YouTube as more of a profession, to where it's actually worth, me really going out of my way to try to monetize. But I don't want to try to like monetize what we're already doing right now to a point where I'm like, yeah, dude, asking people, to sign up for the Patreon, or, get a membership on the channel, or, leave donations and stuff like that. That to me is more like, dude, I'm providing a solid piece of content that's worth that money. Right now, we're doing what everybody else is doing, and I would consider that more e-beggar status. To be completely honest with you, that's why I don't sit and ask for donations, or say every one of my videos to support the channel on Patreon and all of that, because right now I feel like the type of content that I put out is like 50-50, and I can't produce that level of content and feel like it's worth being monetized when it's not consistent enough, when the quality is not consistent enough to actually warrant that. Because I mean, if you guys have been here, you know that sometimes I phone my freaking content in. Like, I literally phone it in because I'm trying to keep within that algorithm to keep the channel relevant, to do that. So yeah, sometimes guys, I phone stuff in, and I'm grateful that you guys watch that. And to be completely honest with you, some of the stuff that I phone in is probably some of the stuff that gets viewed the most. When I do like a, hey man, this is 225 days with the AMD experience. I like doing those videos, but sometimes some of those have been phoned in, and it really sucks because I was starting to do like every single day. I do the carnivore stuff every once in a while. That's something that is very important to me, and I am very passionate about that. I feel like it has absolutely changed my life and given me so much more to actually look forward to in life. And that's why I feel like because of carnivore and because of my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and all of the blessings that he's bestowed upon me, and helped me find my way in life multiple times, always been there for me. Every time something terrible's happened, I've always turned to the Lord, and he's always, either calmed the storm in my mind or helped me get through that. And like I can't, not thank him enough for just being there. Just the thought of his presence always in my life is incredible. And I hope that someday all of you will be able to find that as well, and be able to seriously, understand that, and know that he loves you, and that he's there for you, and that he 100% gave us, sacrificed himself to give us the opportunity to rise above the world and rise above everything that's out there, to be closer to him. And that, to me, in my mind, like being closer to the Lord Jesus and following in his ways is all of us, loving each other, and helping each other, and being strong for each other, and being a good example. And man, that that is the backbone of Frogboy X1 Gaming, man. Like, Frog, fully rely on God. I mean, that's been an Easter egg in this channel for a very long time. And if you didn't know that, man, it's there, man. Like, it's there. Fully rely on God. When you say Frog, just know that that's what that means. Fully rely on God, bro. And hopefully that'll help you get through, because it helps me tremendously. When Junior passed away, man, when Junior passed away, man, fully relying on God is what helped me get through that. So, all right, now let's move back over to what we're talking about. Like, I want Frogboy X1 Gaming to be a platform that you feel comfortable coming to and talking about video games, that you like who I am, that I like who you are, and we can build. I call us friends. I call us family, man. This is a friend family community, and everybody is welcome here. I play on PlayStation. I play on Xbox. I play on PC. I play on freaking Nintendo, man. Like, this is a gamer's platform. It is, and it's for everyone. And with the recent update that Microsoft gave us about the future plans of Xbox, and what Phil Spencer sees as the global land, or as the gaming landscape across the board, man, I believe in his vision, and I always have. I've always been a gamer that has always put games above platform. Period. Like, games are what are most important to me, above platform. So if that makes sense to you, the games will always matter more than any of the platforms that I play them on. And that is where the future of Frogboy X1 Gaming should lie, as a gaming community. Like, when something comes out for PlayStation, yeah, dude, I want to be excited for that, because I know people are excited for that. I don't want this to be that channel where I have to hate something to prop something up or anything like that. Same goes for AMD and Nvidia. Same goes, and I've really been trying to really temper the content, to not try to force out some negative stuff just to get some clicks and stuff like that. I really am trying, guys, and I know I'm not perfect, and I know I'm gonna make mistakes, and I know there's gonna be days where I'm feeling heated, and I'm feeling like this or that, and it's going to come through in that content. It's going to do that, and just know that I am the kind of person that once I receive new information, and once I've learned something, and even if it contradicts something that I've said before, I'm constantly evolving. I don't stick in one place. I don't dig my heels in and just be like, yeah, this is where it's gonna be. If 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 for instance Nvidia came out with a new product and they had totally revamped the control panel, made it something more like what the AMD Adrenalin software is, revamped things to the point where it was like, okay, yeah, this is awesome, man. I can get in here, I can fully customize my experience without having to sit and watch a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like, I can figure this out, and that is cool. I would 100% give Nvidia a try again. Like, I'm not saying that I'm like set in stone. AMD is like the final answer for me. 7000 series AMD cards have been awesome, man. They have helped me gain valuable knowledge in the PC gaming space that I can help my friends that are the people in the community that are, on the fence with the consoles, man. They, like, most of us, most of the gamers that I feel like are in this community are like-minded individuals that are my age, and most of them, I know that there's like these, I know that there's, because I had it too, and I'm going off my feelings. I know that there's intimidation for going over to PC. I know that there's the cost. Does the cost justify the means? I know that, and that's why I've went out and I've bought three different AMD GPUs, a low end card, a mid range card, and a higher end card, so that we can look at that experience and see exactly what we're going to get for our money. And to tell you the guys the truth, honestly, I would have been probably happy with that 3060 Ti back when I got that. To be completely honest with you, like, the experience was pretty good. But then we start getting the games that are coming out, and they're like, oh yeah, and they call for this or they call for that, and so it's confusing. It's confusing, and it makes you feel like your system's not up to date. It makes you feel like you've got to continuously upgrade and update and all of this stuff. So I've been putting in the legwork to really figure out and find out, like, what exactly do we need to be to be sustainable in the PC experience. Like, what is going to give us a good bang for our buck, not break the bank, but still deliver above and beyond what the console experience delivered for us. And I'm still working on that. To be completely honest with you, I'm still working on that. And every day I gain a little more knowledge. Every time a new game comes out, I get more knowledge that way. The more I play games, I do play enough games to where I feel like I'm figuring this stuff out pretty quickly. I'm actually starting to utilize different, settings to see to see how I can get my image quality to look and still give me a higher frame rate and stuff. Because yeah, when you first get into PC, your first instinct as a gamer is flick on everything high and play it, and you want it to just be like playable. And sometimes that's more than easy to do depending on your hardware. But then there's also times where that's just not going to work for you. You're going to have to make some concessions in some things. And that's why I kind of feel like, 1440p has like really stuck with me in terms of, like, I get bang for buck. I get bang for buck at 1440p, but then I know, because I'm one of you, that we have our 4K sets, our 4K TVs, and man, that's expensive. That's expensive to chase 4K in the PC space. But I mean, most of us are probably in a position to where we can afford to do that. But then there's the anxiety of, oh my gosh, dude, what do I get? Is it gonna last? Am I gonna pay all this money? Am I gonna be disappointed? Stuff like that. Like, we start to get to that point. That's why it is important for me to learn how to increase the longevity of my PC experience with the hardware that I got. That's why we're keeping the AMD stack. That's why we're going with AMD. I feel like the experience from Nvidia to AMD is not as great, is not as big as everybody would like you to believe, first of all. And this is just me being honest. I don't think it's as big as most people try to play it off and make it sound like it is. Nvidia does offer some advantages that you may find worth it for you in your gaming experience. Like, you might find that good. But then I also feel like AMD offers you a good enough experience that's close enough to Nvidia at a more reasonable price to where you can afford to build up the other parts of your PC more, because you're still going to be able to do what you want to do 90%, like 99% of the time. I think you're going to have an awesome experience on AMD, just like you would with NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA, you're gonna pay a premium for that. Like you are. Like with Nvidia, Apple, all of these other things, Fanatec, whatever. You're paying extra money for a name. You're paying extra money for a name that is built on an experience that has generally delivered for their customers over a long period of time. So yes, you are paying that extra premium for that privilege to use their product. And I mean, it is what it is, and that's just the way it is, you know, with all major brands, you know, PlayStation, everything. You are paying a little bit of extra money for a name, and that's fine. When the other competing products are probably going to deliver you an experience that's more than worth your time and more than worth your effort. In terms of like the user experience across Nvidia to AMD, I think AMD easily wins that. The user experience is a 100% easy win for AMD, and I would like to see Nvidia do something like that, because I think it would be better. And right now, with so many console gamers in limbo, because we have a lot of console gamers that are in limbo. They're like, oh man, should I get a PS5 Pro? Should I just build a PC? We're getting PlayStation games day and date on PC. We're getting Xbox games on day and date. Like honestly, that's a kind of like a no-brainer at this point. Like if you're older and you got the money, that's kind of a no-brainer, dude. You don't want to have two consoles taking up all that space when you can just have one PC box sitting right there. You can still hook it to your TV. I mean, that to me is more. I mean, my PS5 is almost as tall as my PC, and between the both of them, like they both they both take up a pretty significant footprint of like space across my setup. So I mean, yeah, like just having a PC as opposed to, dang, dude, I could probably put my PS5 down there. No, just having a PC that can do pretty much everything and still have access to these amazing games that both PlayStation and Xbox put out. I do think that will help a lot of people. And like the PC platform, like I get that it is very very intimidating at first, especially if you're just used to coming in, setting your console down, plugging it in, pushing the button, getting in there, playing with a couple of settings, and jumping right into your video games. Yes, PC is definitely a little bit more intimidating, and you will have to learn some things for that. And there's a lot of things that you could potentially make go wrong if you're using it for other things other than just gaming. There are, like, obviously you could be getting into sites that you shouldn't be, downloading stuff that you shouldn't have, or that is going to affect your PC in one way or another. That's why I don't do mods. That's why I don't do any of that stuff on my main build. This is for the channel, for gaming. Like that's why I don't do any of that stuff. I don't want to take that risk of doing something like that and putting the channel or the equipment or anything at risk. And you know, as things progress and I move up and I upgrade, and you know, I don't need this build, then I can, you know, set that one aside and maybe use that to learn how to do modding and all of that other stuff, you know, do some overclocking, stuff like that. Then I can start learning that stuff. And that's pretty much the progression path that I plan to go. Xbox is bringing out new hardware this year. There might be a potential PS5 Pro coming out this year or next year. We'll probably get both of them. Like, we'll probably get both of them and cover them on the channel for sure. I mean, like, I don't see why we wouldn't. I was kind of at the point like a little while ago where I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But at this point in the channel's life, in the channel's life, I do feel like it is still important for me to buy these products and still review them, still bring you information on them, still get you hyped about them. Just like, yeah, I mean, that's what you want, man. Like, you want just as much as I want when I watch something. I want to be hyped, man. Like, sometimes I just want to feel like, yeah, dude, that's cool, I want to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I get that there's that feeling and that sensation out there. And I'm really trying not to be like that, because I have a tendency to be like kind of like a Debbie Downer sometimes, I feel. But I feel like I'm getting better at that. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more happy and stuff. And, you know, a lot of that's thanks to the carnivore diet giving me, you know, a better head space over the last, you know, 143 days or whatever. But yeah, dude, I'm excited, I'm optimistic, and I'm happy about Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm happy with the success we've had so far. And I would like to take this not necessarily more professional, but I would like to make it, I would like to turn it into something where I wouldn't feel negative, not necessarily negative, but like if people were donating money to the channel, I'd want to feel like I'm giving them solid enough content to where that's worth that. I mean, I feel like for what I've received from the YouTube channel so far, it has definitely been worth it. I've put a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of effort into building this, but I would say half of that has been learning how to do it. I mean, seriously, I went from a console gamer to a YouTuber. You know what I mean? And I've had to learn PC stuff. I've had to learn, oh man, I've had to learn so much editing software, like just getting things set up. It's definitely time consuming, man, and the work you put into to doing this is not, it's rewarding in a sense that, like, yes, you get to build a community, you get to make friends, you get to have fun, you get to talk about the thing you love, you get like publishers and developers that will send you free games sometimes. You'll get companies that will send you free products for you to test on your channel. I mean, like, the benefits are pretty awesome. And the fact, I mean, just the thought of being able to make an income, I mean, maybe not enough to support my lifestyle as it is right now, but to make an income doing something you love doing, that is awesome, man. That's like a dream come true for a lot of people. And I do want to grow that. I do. I want to grow that to the point where it's like I can, where I can build content and be able to get enough views and enough and enough support for the content that I build for it to make a difference. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is just making a difference. They call us influencers for a reason, and I want to influence you. I do. To be in a mindset like I am, so that you can enjoy games like Gollum, or Saints Row, or be able to buy a game and like, at least be able to just put your money out there and be like, all right, I'm gonna try this game for myself. I don't need any influence. The game looked interesting, I want to buy it, and then see how it is for you. And then I want you to be able to feel okay with that, because I do kind of feel like gaming going forward, there's a potential when you see a game like Pal World come out in the quality that Pal World is, and you see how that game comes out, and then you see it do massive sales and be really popular. There's a definite chance that, like, we could be seeing a lot more of that type of stuff. You could see a lot of these companies pulling back all the funding for all of the extreme stuff, and doing more stuff like Pal World, or doing more things like, Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is doing pretty dang good on Steam right now. That's awesome. I was going to play some today and maybe make a few videos. I've bought it 3 times now. I did, was trying to stay within my 2 hours because it was like crashing on me, doing a lot of stuff like that. But I'm gonna stick it out. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna return it again. This is the 3rd time is the charm. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to play it and see how that works out, because I like video games. I do. I like video games. And if there's a good game in there, I want to find it and I want to enjoy that. I want to experience that. And seeing as it's doing really good right now, it's really popular. A lot of people are playing it. I should be able to find some teams and get in there and, like, experience that. I mean, I just got Skull and Bones. Absolutely incredible. My feelings for Skull and Bones, like right now as it is it's a pretty decent foundation to start from. And Ubisoft supports their games long term, man. Like, we're still getting content for freaking Division 2, for freak's sakes. Like, we are still getting content for, I think we're still getting content for For Honor. I think we're still, and that came out in 2016. I think we're still getting content for Rainbow Six Siege. So the fact that we could get multiple years of content for Skull and Bones that could potentially add, like, land combat or melee combat, or jumping on the other boats and doing that kind of stuff, I don't put it past Ubisoft with their plethora of building games their plethora of knowledge of building games to bring stuff like that to Skull and Bones. So I'm on board with Skull and Bones. I think it is awesome. And I'm grateful that I get to be there from day one to play this experience. Like, that's cool. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, man. Like, I was really digging that game, and I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna review it. But my gosh, man, like some of these games that go out of their way to bring in this political stuff that that pretty much makes one group of people happy, but completely irritates another group of people. That is not a good business model, man. Like, your content should be like I feel like these guys should make their content to try to bring in the most amount of active users and people that are going to enjoy that experience. And you can do that without doing any of this other stuff. Like, you don't have to have that in your games. You don't have to bring that in there. You I feel like, to be successful these days, I feel like these guys are shooting themselves in the foot. For what? For what? Like, I'm loving everything there is about Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. I love the gameplay. I love the world design. I love the characters, for freak's sakes. I love so much about this game. But then it just feels like they bring this content in there and it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It breaks the immersion, and then I get frustrated and I get mad, and I make a video and I tell everybody not to buy the game because I'm mad at it because it broke my immersion, for something stupid. And that sucks, man. Like, it stood out so much to me because it's so divisive that I'm like, no, man, like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to warn people because I told people to buy this game. And I feel it's only right that I come out here and I tell them, like, look, man, this really broke my immersion to a point where I wanted to just turn it off. And I was mad. I was mad. I've had time to sleep on it now. And I was mad. And if there's anything that's okay, I mean, yes, they forced this stuff on me and it was annoying, but I got to take sweet, sweet, sweet revenge on them and take them out. So it's fine. Like, it is what it is. I'll keep playing it. Maybe I'll get through it this weekend. Maybe I won't. But yeah, I mean, at least I could do away with them. These females that are bad mouthing my dude that's trying to help them. Yeah. So I mean, at least I was able to do away with them, and they were like trash people anyways. It's like, really, man? You guys are gonna bring this into the game. You're gonna trash you're gonna trash my boy Red with this whole feminist power woman stuff, but then you're gonna make these women evil, cheaters, and whatever else, like murderers, stuff like that, and then you're gonna try to justify that with this situation, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, man, these people are dunsy. They're done. So I mean, I guess there's like retribution either way. Like, I mean, you don't like the way they're treating Red, get rid of them. Blame them, get rid of them. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It now that I'm looking at it from that point of view, it's getting a little bit more interesting in my mind to continue playing this game, because I'm like, all right. I mean, it's almost like they shot themselves in the foot and gave the people a reason to, like, be like, all right, well, yeah, I'm getting rid of this. You know what I mean? It's almost like, dude, like, most people are probably going to get rid of these annoying people. Like, seriously, they're going to get rid of them pretty quickly, like I did. I was like, ooh, dude, that's not even a hard choice now. Goodbye. I mean, yeah, it's crazy, man. Video games are crazy, and they're starting to get divisive, man. And that sucks, guys. That super freaking sucks, man. That like, why? I mean, growing up, playing video games from back in the days, I know that, like, like Cliff Bleszinski comes out and says, like, yeah, man, there was politics in Gears of War, and like over our head politics, stuff that was like clearly over anybody's head. Like, it wasn't like so in your face, like having Hillary Clinton write your script for Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. I'm like, come on, man. I see. I don't know. I mean, like with the way I was able to react to the people in the game of Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, it almost it almost makes me feel like they put that stuff in there intentionally to make you want to get rid of them. I don't know. Like I'm still playing through it. I'll give you like my full review at the end, but I put out that warning video so that you know what's in there, so that you can decide for yourself if this is something that you want to partake in, man. Because it was, I mean, like actually, it's a little bit earlier in the game than 5 hours, but that first part was like, okay, I get it. I'm cool with that, you know. Oh, girl's the boss, she's the leader. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I've had plenty of girl bosses in my life, so that doesn't bug me. But then when you start getting into the, like after the 5 hour mark, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like what is going on here? And yeah, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, dude, I think I've been able to hand out some pretty decent retribution for this for the experience so far. So, all right, my friends. Yes, so I do want to be able to make more professional content going forward. I want to be able to basically. I do want to be able to monetize this channel a little bit better. I want to be able to get support and stuff like that, because I mean, let's face it, man. Like I've paid for pretty much everything throughout the beginning of this channel, and I do feel like my content is worthy enough to be able to receive financial backing to be able to grow the channel more. So for year 4, for the beginning of year 4, I do want to up the quality of content. I want to do more quality than phoning it in type work. I do. I want to get on a little bit better schedule. Have a more consistent launch window for when these videos are going to come out. For like series and stuff, I'm gonna do like an AMD series. I'm gonna do like an Xbox series. I'm gonna do a PlayStation series and a Nintendo series. I mean, maybe not a Nintendo. That one won't be like super high priority. Then I also want to keep doing, stuff about the carnivore diet. Of course, I want to help as many people as possible. I mean, I'm on camera every day. You guys get to see these changes from day one till now. Like you get to see this journey unfold right before your eyes every single day. So that's something that is important, because it is, something that is, that I'm very passionate about right now. Obviously, my body's transforming. I'm going to the gym a lot more. I'm starting to get more lean. I'm starting to get more muscle in there. I'm actually starting to really see like some muscle tone coming in like my chest and my arms and stuff like that. So yeah, these are things that you're going to see, like we're going to progress together. And like my mental clarity, it's a lot better. So I want to try to, do a little bit more professional work. So that might mean that like some days you're going to get less content, you know what I mean? Or you're going to get more like something just a little bit better than what I normally do. I've got some projects that are going to take like, a little while to actually build and bring out. I've got like some product reviews and stuff that I've got planned, throughout the year. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that I want to be able to do. And I do want to take this channel to another level. I feel like, yes, obviously it could keep going the way it's going for a long time, but this is something that like I'm really been thinking about a lot lately, because I doing like the Nvidia versus AMD, or doing like the Xbox versus this, or all of that kind of stuff. You guys know where I stand. I'm an Xbox bro that uses AMD. Like, where I stand. Those are my platforms that I choose. When I have a reason to play on my PS5, I'll use it. If a game comes out and it has like super technical like Nvidia ray tracing and all of that kind of stuff, like I would potentially go buy another Nvidia card just to see that, to experience that and give you my thoughts on it and stuff. So I'm not ruling out that I'd never get Nvidia again, but I would like them to seriously like up their game, at least in the user experience department, for me at least. For me. And I don't think that's too much to ask. A $1 trillion company that sells you cards for a way big markup. I don't think that's too much to ask. You know what I mean? Like I would like, something just a little bit better. I know that most people are like, oh, you just don't know what you're doing. I get that. You're probably right. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a dumb hillbilly, but I can figure it out on the AMD side, and it's actually pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, this is better. easier for me to figure out, so I like it more, and that's cool, man. Like I like the AMD experience more than I like the ray tracing at this point right now. Like I feel like ray tracing is almost there. Like I feel like it's almost there. On the games that I get to use it on my AMD platform, like I do feel like it's there and it is cool. Like don't get me wrong, but I do want to see it progress to a point where like everybody can use it and not have to spend $1,000 or more on a GPU. Like I want that day and age to like get here to where it's actually a viable option for more people to be able to do that. So all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do have a Patreon buried way down in the description of each video that I put out. If you guys want to support the channel there, that's awesome. If not, I understand why. I never started this channel to beg for money. So, like, I get it. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.